Hello there guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV for another video on this channel as we talk about Kai Havertz and Timo Werner a bit more, because there are obviously big questions, arising now that we seem to have signed Timo Werner and now that we're actually seriously interested in Kai Havertz. Whether we will end up getting him or not, we'll just have to wait and see, but we're seriously interested. And the big question is, how do we actually fit those two into the team? What position does Timo Werner actually play? What position does Kai Havertz play? And that's what I'm going to talk about today alongside, the rest of the team, how they're going to line up around them. Because I personally find it very, very interesting, and I think I've come up with a couple of very interesting ideas that I think some of you might like as well. And let me know your thoughts on everything I'm going to mention down in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you do enjoy our content, and also make sure you to subscribe to Blues Fans TV. We're still on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and every subscriber counts. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. But that was enough waffling really, and now let's just get into it. But before that, let me just clarify, just quickly really, that I know for an absolute fact that opinions on next season's lineup, especially if we do manage to sign Havertz, will be very controversial. We will have so many options in midfield and attack. We're always going to have to leave someone out, and someone's always going to be upset and offended. Why would you leave him out? Why would you leave him out? It's just going to happen. So if you're one of those people that will be offended, I'm sorry, but I have to leave out someone. Realistically, they can't all play. They can't all play. And also, don't focus on who I've placed in the defense of these lineups. I mean, who knows if we'll sign Ben Chilwell from Leicester? Who knows? And to be honest, I have no idea who our best centre-back pairing is. Some of them have more potential than others, but at this point, I feel like they're all pretty much equally as good as each other, with just different strengths in different areas, really. But enough waffling now, genuinely enough waffling now, and let's get into how Frank Lampard can fit both Timo Werner and Kai Havertz into the Chelsea team. Now, my favourite formation in general is a 4-3-3. Most of you should know that. But personally, as much as I know Havertz could play in a midfield three if Lampard asked him to do it, I don't think that's getting the best out of him. Personally, I also just think that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a significantly better number 8 than Kai Havertz is. So if we're going to break the bank for him, why play him in a position we already have better options for? But if you think about the 4-3-3, how Liverpool use it, Havertz could most certainly be used in that as kind of a false 9, a bit like Roberto Firmino is used at Liverpool, to link everything together, and then have Timo Werner on his left and then probably Hakim Ziyech to his right, as you can see over here now. Although in that system you could make a strong case for the pace of Christian Pulisic or Callum Hudson-Odoi being more useful. You could discuss that, but to start with, I would go for Hakim Ziyech on the right. Havertz, like I said, can most certainly play in that false 9, almost striker position as well, in my opinion. I mean, and be absolutely incredible at it. I mean, arguably, that's also how we get the best out of Timo Werner, because, Havertz isn't a proper out-and-out striker like Tammy Abraham is, who might kind of be in the way of Werner a little bit at times. And Werner plays up front, but he plays up front in the front too. And unless we go with that, which surprisingly to some of you maybe I haven't actually gone with in any of my formations here, unless we do that, there is, we could use him as a lone striker, but also as a winger, but more as an inside forward. And this is kind of the best inside forward, option for him. That's where he'd play if Havertz was kind of the striker in the 4-3-3. And then you just have a midfield of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mateo Kovacic, the two number 8s. And then depending on the opponent, either N'Golo Kante or Jorginho as, the base of the 3. And if Hakim Ziyech isn't used as the inside right forward, here he could certainly be used in midfield as well. Although maybe not from the get-go of when he joins us at the start of next season, but once he has found his feet in the Premier League, I think, he could work in midfield as well. His work rate would certainly allow it. But, that's kind of that formation. Let me know again what you guys think of it. But let's come to the formation that we used most last season, the 4-2-3-1. Not my favourite, but with the right players, a very, very good option. And here, Kai Havertz would have to play as the number 10 and Hakim Ziyech as the most regular starter on the right. But everything else of that team, from midfield forwards, is tricky. A lot of people see Werner as a winger, like I said, an inside winger. Certainly not exactly how we've used wingers before, so we kind of need to change how we use the winger position, at least the left side anyway. But I also believe, like I said already, that we can use him as a lone striker, especially when Kai Havertz is behind him in the number 10, who can, like I discussed in the previous formation already, most certainly push up to almost create a front 2 in that scenario. His movement, touch, technique, finish, and physique certainly, fit it perfectly to be kind of a striker, like I mentioned in the other formation already. And in that case, I would then have Christian Pulisic on the left, maybe Hudson-Odoi, depends on their development for the remainder of this season especially, and then a double pivot of most likely Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante, or just Jorginho, I guess it depends on the opponent. It depends on what Frank Lampard likes at that point, and also in N'Golo Kante's fitness situation. Quite frankly, we can't just dismiss that either. Against a very defensive team, I'd stick to a 4-2-3-1. I'd keep Tammy Abraham in the team though. I keep him in the team up front to have that physique. Keep Kai Havertz in the 10, of course. Play Werner out on the left. Keep Hakim Ziyech on the right, and then have a double pivot of actually Ruben Loftus-Cheek and N'Golo Kante. Now, Ruben, in my opinion, is not perfectly suited to and ready to play in that position just yet. But in my opinion, I have so much belief in him. If you watch this channel, if you watch my channel, to which, by the way, the link is also down in the description. You know, I have so much belief in him. I'm very confident that he could learn and get the hang of that position very, very quickly. Especially as against defensive teams, he can interpret that position very offensively. Even if he's playing as part of the double pivot, if the opponent is very defensive, he can still attack quite a bit. Especially if N'Golo Kante next to him improves at being the sole base of the team and holding his position down, which I don't think he's quite the best at yet. And also, I think he's not getting the best out of it because he's an aggressor. He's got that engine to run after people, to tackle people because he's so quick and agile. So if he just sits, I think we're kind of losing a bit of his ability. But, you know, he can certainly be molded into different directions. Because if he can't do it, Jorginho doesn't have the pace. We kind of need a player in that position, in my opinion. Possibly Ethan Ampadu. You never know. Could be a shout. But then as kind of the last resort option, last resort formation system, in my books, personally, simply because I'm not a fan of the formation, but I know Lampard likes to use it sometimes, is the 3-4-3. Or more of a 3-4-2-1, I guess. And again, with Havertz as the most forward player, like in my 4-3-3 formation I mentioned at the beginning. With Werner and Ziyech around him, Werner to the left, Ziyech on the right, Kovacic and Kante as the midfield too. Even I, as much as I love him, wouldn't start Ruben in this formation, to be honest, not in the midfield too anyway. It could certainly be an option as one of the, you know, kind of wide attacking mids or inside wingers, if you want to call it that, where Werner and Ziyech play. I think Ruben could certainly be an option there, like Mount can be as well. But even I wouldn't start Ruben unless he significantly improves at being part of the double pivot as well. Even I wouldn't necessarily start him there. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of that formation of the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. But with these players in some games, it could definitely work very, very well and be a valid option for Frank Lampard. And, you know, we know already that he likes to use it at times. So why not, you know, use it at times, but have better players to use it in. So those are my ways to fit Kai Havertz and Timo Werner into our team. With probably the first one being my preferred option with the 4-3-3 with kind of a false 9, which is very similar to how Liverpool do it. But look at how successful they are doing it. So if we can be similarly as good at it and we be better in some areas, then we could actually be better at them. Not straight away, but in the long run, you know, you never know. But of course, it is very, very early to say any of that anyway. As much as I've seen quite a lot of both Havertz and Werner, none of us have seen them in a Chelsea team, and we don't know exactly what Lampard, what his plans are. You know, does he want to play Werner on the wing? Does he want to play Havertz as a 10 number up front, or even as an 8? We don't know. You know, we don't know for sure until we actually see them use it. And just to mention it as well, I know Mason Mount, for example, didn't show up in any of these formations, but we have a lot of games. We play a lot. We play also a very demanding style of football. There will be rotation, and everyone will get plenty of game time. Everyone will get plenty of game time, and that includes Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, and the same goes for Tammy Abraham. Or, for example, someone like Tammy might just do so well that he's undroppable, except for when we have to rotate, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. And similar things go for Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They might just play so well that we might have to drop a Ziyech for him if Ziyech doesn't hit the ground running. You know, it is certainly an option. As much as I'm very much excited to see Hakim Ziyech play for us, it is a possibility that some of the other players that we have already, especially the youngsters, just have such a breakout season that they're just undroppable, and someone like Hakim Ziyech doesn't get into the team. We'll just have to wait and see. And like you saw in the team, it was most of the time, or it was pretty much always, Ben Chilwell at left back or left wing back. Maybe we will sign him, maybe we won't. I think it would be a little bit expensive. Let's see how much we would actually have to pay for him. But if we don't get him, I just hope we sign another left back. For example, like Tagliafico from Ajax, because I really don't want to see Emerson or Alonso as our regular starters anymore next season if we want to improve significantly. In a 3-4-3, maybe I'd accept Alonso, but even then, only rather unwillingly. But to be honest, guys, that has been it from me. Let me know down in the comment section below which of my 4 choices you preferred. I'm unsure if the poll option at the I button up there is still available. YouTube did tell me a little while ago that they were going to stop it, so I'm not sure. If there is no poll option up there, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, click the poll up there and, you know, give me your thoughts, I guess. There, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. Like I said in the beginning already, check out my channel, check out my social media as well. That'd be massively appreciated. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea, and I'll see you when I see you.